All right, so we've finally finished with the introductory part, the one for absolute beginners. Now we're moving on to more intermediate and upper intermediate topics. We're going to talk about three things. I'll record 3 video tutorials, and after that, we'll move on to the practical application. First, we need to understand what UV is, how it works, what it's for, and so on. In reality, there are already plenty of videos, materials, articles, and so on about this topic on the internet. I'll just explain it specifically in the context of what we'll be doing next, how this topic will help us, and how it will come in handy. I'll try to delve into that area. But really, as I've already said, other authors have already made much better videos on the subject. You can watch how they explain this topic. In fact, I even recommend you do so. Next up, we have masks. They come in various types. For example, here are masks based on UVs, and that's precisely why we need to cover this topic first. Then we have various masks based on textures, on local and world position, and things like that. So all kinds of different masks. Of course, I've also prepared these examples for you, and I'm still working on them, and I'll continue to add more because I'm still in the process. That's because I'm working on 4 projects simultaneously, that is 4 games. By the way, all the links for this project will be in the description. You can download it completely for free from my Patreon. You can also add our games to your wish lists. Please, you'd be helping us out a lot by doing that. All right, and the last topic, which I haven't added here yet, is the topic of color variations and color correction in Unreal in general, meaning how we can add different variations to colors and so on. As I've said, of course, explaining all of this, explaining every single one of these nodes and how it works, we could do that, but honestly, it's a pointless exercise, going through every single one. Many authors do this. They've covered them extensively and show you lots of examples. My job, as a reminder, is to gather everything for you. That 95% of all the nodes, all these tricks, life hacks, and so on, and show you with examples, specifically with practical examples, how to use them, where to use them, why to use them at all, and what the difference is between them. Because in reality, you might think, or you might even fall into a bit of a trap and assume that some of these things are the same, or at least that they appear to be the same on the surface. But in reality, it might seem that way at first glance, that they're identical. However, actually the nuance in how they differ reveals itself in subtle, sometimes almost imperceptible moments, depending on exactly where you apply the shader. I'm giving this long, lengthy monologue just to let you know that we've finished with this introductory part. If you haven't watched this video yet, please make sure to watch it. It'll be somewhere around here on the screen. It contains a total of 25 questions, which are the most basic and most common ones. Right from scratch to a more or less complex question. Questions that beginners specifically ask me. I'll be explaining it as if to artists without mathematics. I'll really try to do it without mathematics, but honestly, some nodes, like for example this dot product, are at their core, how should I put it, they themselves are in essence pure mathematics, involving operations with vectors, matrix transformations, and so on. Well, these are complex concepts, and they use complex words and terminology. But thankfully, the developers have already thoughtfully prepared some nodes for us that do the work for us, that help solve certain problems. For example, I think you're probably familiar with their Fresnel node. If not, no worries, we'll go over it together. And under the hood, that is how it actually works. Well, yes, it works like this. So this and this are more or less essentially the same thing. If you're already familiar with a similar node, which is called, let's see, the Fresnel function, let's open it and see. Right here, we'll see that this dot product is here. So the logic that's inside here is the same as this. The developers just realized that they needed to package this for us in order to make it all much easier and more convenient for us to use. And so they created this node for us. And then all of this is the same as this, meaning desaturation. You can also use dot product here. And this is essentially the same as this, and also this. And when you take each of these nodes separately, it's really all the same thing. You can achieve the same result in several different ways. And this, specifically this too, this and this are also the same thing. So they're identical things. You can achieve the same result through identical paths. In some places, the developers have already made this task easier for us. That's exactly why I said that I'll try. Of course, I'll explain how it works without getting too deep into the math. And then I'll show you how to easily and simply recreate it. So you remember, it's very easy. Okay, all these examples, all of this, the entire material, the whole project, as I've already said, will be available in the description. You can download it, take a look. I update it periodically. It's just that right now I need to finish this third part. Well, actually, I need to finish this second part about masks. And the last one, what I was talking about, color correction, prepare the material for the third lesson. And then I'll just finalize it. That is, upload it right now to Patreon where you can download it. So stay tuned for the upcoming videos. Right now, I just wanted to show what we've accomplished and where we're headed. I'll probably do some editing here, showing on screen what we'll be doing and so on. So I'm not just sitting around either, even though I'm working on 4 projects, as I said, and have very, very little time, but I'm still trying to improve my editing skills and so on. In any case, thank you for watching and look forward to the next videos.